The Final Fantasy VII demo is finally public, but I decided to sit down and give my thoughts and take on it. So, let's talk about it.
Whoa!
What's up guys, Canadian Guy here, and I am back with a brand new video. It's been a while since I posted anything Final Fantasy VII Remake related, and I finally decided, after going to PAX East 2020, that it was time that I get back on board with this game. Luckily enough, right as I got home, a new demo has dropped, and it was bigger than the one at PAX East. A lot bigger, actually. The demo's length is about an hour long, and I understand why they didn't bring it to PAX, because otherwise no one would be able to play the game, but, you know, a select few. So they brought the old demo in its place. Luckily enough, I got to play that old demo at PAX, and then immediately got to play this one, so I could see and feel the differences in development. And boy oh boy, is it different. But I wanted to go over what I liked about this specific demo, and what I think needs improvements, and, you know, just my overall thoughts. First off, for those who have not seen much footage yet, the game is, without a doubt, not a remake whatsoever. This is essentially a retelling of the same story, but with so much more content added. It's basically a reboot of the original Final Fantasy VII, while keeping the same story's DNA intact. The game's story and franchise overall has been fleshed out over the years with titles like Advent Children and even spin-offs like Crisis Core. The game graphically is beautiful and actually runs pretty well overall. The footage you are seeing is recorded with an Elgato on the PS4 Pro. The cinematics for this game are next level and definitely is pushing the PlayStation to its limits. However, even though it's pushing it to its limits, most of the time the PlayStation 4 is able to maintain beautiful imagery. Seeing the remade cutscenes like Aerith or the swooping shots of Midgar bring back nostalgic familiarity and yet something brand new and fresh. There are definitely some technical tricks that are done though, and it sometimes can be seen, especially during combat. It's not something that's too harsh, but if you focus on it, you can notice some frame blurring and motion blur to cover up the game's overperformance on the console. But don't worry, it's not as bad as the original reignited motion blur. The voice performances are perfect. That's it. There is not much more to say other than that. They nailed every single line in every single character in every single cinematic, and they have given personalities to characters who didn't have much of one before. Bear's performance, for example, is absolutely brilliant, and the voice actor knocks it out of the park. And the music is just, marvelous. Hearing the opening cinematic, the main menu, showing up on the train for the bombing mission, all of it, it's just so perfect. The combat for this game, though is great, gets some getting used to. If you're waiting for a turn-based experience, then sadly, that's not quite what this is. This is an action RPG where you dash around the battlefield and kill your opponents. Now, even though this game doesn't have the turn-based nature, it still ingrains some of the original gameplay in its combat. You can press X to enter tactical mode, where time almost freezes and allows you to figure out what you want to do, whether it be using an item, casting a spell, or using an ability. Or, you know, maybe just giving yourself a second to think of what you need to do next. This also can be useful if you want to time up certain abilities from specific characters. The combat is smooth as silk once you get used to it, and in this demo, which was quite different from the original demos, we were able to see different fighting modes from different characters. For example, Cloud has his standard fighting style, which is Operator mode, where he can dash around and split enemies limb from limb. And then he has Punisher mode. Punisher is slower, but produces a higher damage output while being able to hit multiple enemies constantly. Each and every character thus far that I was able to play has a mode like this. The only really negative aspect I have for this specific demo is at times the combat shortcuts and controls can get a little bit complicated. It's not extremely hard, don't worry, but it does take some getting used to. I also wish that there was a way that the game communicated the damage you take a little bit better, but overall, those are the only minor nitpicks that I have. This demo is an absolute thrill to play. If anyone has a PlayStation 4, go check this demo out on the PSN store. It is absolutely free. It's such a blast to play, and it's actually quite a long demo, clocking in around an hour. There is no time limit, so you can play and wander as much as you like within the Shinra power plant and find little secrets and Easter eggs. I have played through this demo multiple times, and I'm still finding new stuff. Now, are you excited for the Final Fantasy VII Remake? Comment below and let me know. A huge thank you to all those who support the channel through Patreon and being a sponsor on the channel. If you'd like to help it out, check out the links in the description below, where you can buy some CGE merch or become a Patreon. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe for more gaming and nostalgic content. Thank you so much everyone, and I'll see you guys in the next video.